Hello everyone, we have our news for the week, so let's take a look. Maintenance is normal time as usual. Ending with maintenance this week is pretty much all the Legend of Mana stuff, so that's the 3 Master Crowns, challenges, the special item, and the box summon. So if you haven't finished all that, you have till maintenance to do that. And this is going to be week 2 of Final Fantasy Type 0. We're getting a free unit, so normal farm for that. Neovision base unit to summon, and an NVA. We are missing another Neovision base unit that I was actually expecting. So we'll have to see. I was expecting 2 weeks of Final Fantasy Type 0, then anniversary stuff, because we do have the live stream coming up this Sunday. So we'll have to see what they're doing, because we're missing one of the units. There's no other Type 0 units, so we might get a filler week before they actually start anniversary. Or they might just toss her in with something. So we'll have to see on that. But no premium units, so shards are in the shop and everything. Have some crowns for Kursame, which are going to help him out a little bit. So he gets 2 abilities boosted. First is his Magnus turns into a cooldown, which is nice because it doesn't have any actual boost on it. Maxed out, give himself 300% attack and magic and 100x modifier to his limit, which is really nice. And then the other one is some passive stats. So maxed out on that one is 2500 flat attack and magic. He gets Beast Bird and Stone Killer 200% and boosts some of his abilities, which is nice. He gets a leader skill for type 0 units. And then his EX3 ability is going from just flat 500 attack to 500 attack and magic. Gets some extra killers and abilities as well. Quadcast. They're boosting his super a little bit, so they're bringing him up to speed. It's going to be nice. He doesn't have any boost though, so I'm not sure how close to top damage, but he's definitely not going to match top damage without having a good boost of his own. They are renaming his super as well, so they're getting rid of the knowing tag stuff. So instead of a knowing tag, it's going to be his cape. Rem's getting the same deal. She had a knowing tag Materia, and they're changing that name as well. So boosts are going to help him out quite a bit. If you like him, he'll be usable. He's definitely not going to be top damage or anything. But for anything type 0 or crystal, he'll be pretty decent to use. More general leader skills. So we have for type 0 only 100 attack and magic for Queen, Machina, Wildcard, Ace, and Rem. And then crystals, 100 attack and magic for Onion Knight, Raffia, and Dark Knight, Lunith. So more leaders for those categories is going to be helpful. And vision cards, so it's just going to be the one. We're getting the 1 unit there. Maxed out, 130 attack, 50% attack, 25% limit damage, 500 flat attack for type 0 only. The copy-paste series card. So great for attacker Final Fantasy type 0 units. You're not going to use it on anybody else really. And as far as events, we have the farm event for the free unit. So Qator is going to be the free unit, super limit burst unit. Same deal as all the other events. You go through the 8 stages, farm it up, max them out. So super is a one-handed katana, 217 attack. He'll get 1500 flat attack from it. And everybody else can get 5% mana per turn and 4 limit crystals. Regular Trust is clothing, 42 attack, 31 defense, 39 magic, 24 spirit. And 50% equipment, dual wield, attack, and magic when dual wielding. So it's fine for dual wield units. As far as featured abilities, wind focus there. And going to be Final Fantasy Type 0 for the farming bonus for his event. And we're getting another item. So this time we're getting the Class 0 Winter Uniform Type B. Maxed out, 69 attack and magic, 38 defense, 52 spirit, ice and wind resist, 30%. And for the girls this time, so the last one was for the guys only, this one's for all the girls. they get 500 attack and magic. And then the Master Crown for Kurasame. So Kurasame's Master Crowns are limited to Blessing of the Crystals. And the equipment seems to have no restriction on it. So we'll have to see how hard Kurasame's Master Crown is. Looks like we're fighting against Gilgamesh, same sprite from the bridge event that we have right now. And we're getting a raid event. Standard stuff there. Looks like no boost on the items, so the items don't really matter that much at this point in the game, I don't think. They really should have boosted these. And back when we first got the first RAM or whatever, those Defender Daggers are great, but 68 magic now just doesn't really seem worth it, and there seems to be nothing else. So, type 0 again, so instead of just the crystals, it's going to be type 0 for the bonus on the raid. Yeah, the most useful thing is going to be the Ice Elemental Gun if you need an Ice Elemental weapon. So it looks like they just brought back some old items without boosting them, which is a little disappointing on that end. And then we have the banner. So Trey is the new Neo Vision base, and Rem is getting her NVA. And just standard banner there, nothing even really special. So he's a super limit burst unit. Super two-handed bow, 218 attack. He'll get 500 flat attack. Everybody else can get human and bird killer 75%. Regular trust is clothing, 52 attack, 28 defense, 33 spirit, and 50% double hand. So if you need the double hand, that's fine. Overall, he'll probably want to use the guy clothing that we got already. Leader skill, 100% attack and magic for type 0. And then Rem. So they are boosting her super a little bit. Pretty much they're adding the 1000 flat magic to her. I think the other stuff on it is pretty much the same. It's just the flat magic, and it's not stackable even though she is a dual wield unit. And then they're updating her regular trust. So they're changing the name. It used to be Knowing Tag. It's now Benevolent Hearts. And then it's getting boosted from, I think, 25% dual wield magic to 50%. I think everything else is the same on that. So we can take a look at the units on the JP side because there doesn't seem to be any global boosts. So first up for Rem. So Neo Vision, she gets a Magnus with 140 Fire, Ice, and Lightning and Peril, which could be fairly useful there. Standard fill limit that everybody gets nowadays. Quadcast is going to be handy. Cooldown, she gets 100 modifier to her limits. 30% elemental boost to the 3 elements that she can do, so nothing too special there. Looks like her spells get a 200x modifier, which is nice. Flat 1500 magic is going to help her out. Limit damage is nice. LB per turn is nice because we can use her limit to fill mana for everybody else. See, Aquatic Beast, Human, Dragon Killer, not bad. Some Dagger Mastery for some more passives. See, she gets some extra Protect and Shell for the party. Awaken just a +2 though. And then Chaos Wave for Ice and Lightning added. Leader skill, just 100 attack and magic to type 0. And as far as her limits, so the base Neo Vision gives her 250 magic buff, 130 Fire, Ice, Lightning, and Peril, and 9 hits, 150x modifier. So physical, that does magic damage, so we can imbue it. And then the super. See, magic is the same at 250 buff, and Peril goes up 5% to 135, and it's a 250. And her cooldown does add 100, so her super with the cooldown boost would be 350 modifier. So She'll be able to help out with anything Type 0 or Crystal Lock 2. I don't see her doing that much damage with only a 350 modifier, and she's really wants to be a dual wield unit and does not get the extra cap. And her 200% in the kit is also tied to dual wielding too. So decent supporter. She gets a couple extra things added for being Neo Vision. So nice to use, nothing too strong. Then we have the free unit that we're getting. So this one here, we get Fire Imbue, Wind Imbue for the self, Human and Stone Killer 100% for the party for 3 turns. You'll also mitigate damage for 30%. Not bad there. 50x for his limit modifier add-on. See, 50% mitigations, caster only though. Gets a auto casting Mirage. So 3 turns of 3 stacks, self only, but could still be handy. Absolute Mirror with 200x modifier, all enemies, and bolting, 150 modifier, all enemies, and 130 wind down. So those are okay chainers, not using those for the main damage, obviously. Gets Omni Cover Magnus for 1 turn, 1 use, only 50% mitigation on the cover mitigation, and no actual extra mitigation like actual tanks get though. Stone Demon Machine, Human, Bird, and Beast Killer is okay. See, 200% chain cap is not tied to dual wielding, although most of their stuff is set up to be a dual wield unit. But seeing the chain cap is not tied there, you can build them as a double hand. We'll just take a little bit extra, as it looks like they're only getting 50% double hand in the kit. And the imbues look like they unlock the 1000 modifier single finishers for fire and wind. See, regular limit burst, 20% katana and gun down, 80% defense spirit break, 130 wind down, and 200x modifier, 24 hits, so that should be triple mirror chaining or close to it. And the super version, 30% katana gun, 80% defense spirit, 130 wind, and 270 modifier. So add 50 to that, that would be a 320, which isn't all that bad. So pretty decent free unit overall, most likely. Also, the limits are AoE, which is nice as well. And then we have Trey, so another super limit burst unit. He does get the 150 Wind Magnus, which is nice. See, fixed attack, 120x modifier, physical damage with a 1-turn delay. Probably not using that much. See, 200% stat buffs with Mirage. Bolting, 200x modifier, that's just a chainer move. Wind, Fire, Ice Imbue for himself, triple cast. Absolute Merit, 250. Fire Dart that he can put on enemies, 100x per turn for 5 turns. Could be handy at certain times, but not something that's going to be relied on too much. 300x finisher. You can add 80 to his limit. And he gets another cooldown, 300 attack, 200x ability modifier to a bunch of his skills, and he unlocks a skill as well. See, Demon, Stone, Machine, Human, Beast Killer, and Bird Killer. So standard fare on the current Neo Vision for killers. See, Trust having 3000 flat attack on it is nice. Well, his passive for using the Trust or super. 100 chain cap, so he still needs his other 100%. And looks like the move that he unlocks is 2500x finisher, so that's decent damage. Pretty much all the card moves that we get are 2000 modifier, so this is 500 modifier higher than the special cards that we've been using. So regular limit burst, 25 bow down, 80% defense break, 130 win, 200x modifier, single hit. So he's not win lock, which is super nice, although he does want to do win, seeing his Magnus for 150 is a wind only boost. His super, 30 bow down, 80 defense, 135 wind down, and 300x modifier. So again, not locked to wind. See, he doesn't have the LB boost in his kit already, so you can add that in for another 100 in the first 5 turns for 4. And then his cooldown is another 80, so he can get up to 480 on his limit. And actually seeing that is good for 3 turns. If you're not doing wind damage, you could also like Tyvus' Spirit. So decent damage overall, nothing too special. He's pretty much just a damage dealer. And that's pretty much it for the new units that we have coming. I was expecting to see Qator as well, but she's not listed in the news, so I'm kind of hoping she shows up next week. We'll have to see what they're doing. As far as pulling this week, seeing Qator's not listed, I'm only going to use my 3-star base EX tickets, and we'll see if any Neovisions show up there. But anybody that does decide to pull, good luck to you. Just remember, we do have anniversary coming up. We don't know what's happening with that. We have the live stream this Sunday, so that should give us our information on what they're doing for anniversary and everything. They should announce most of it, because every time they do the anniversary, they'll announce 2 to 3 weeks worth of content. So have to tune in then. But that's all we have, so we're going to end this video here. Hope everybody enjoyed.